you tell us about the idea behind Dead Man's Shoes? And
yeah, it was just a total. It was coming off the back of Once Upon a Time on the Million's Machine, and it was just. It was sort of a let's go back to basics and do it. That's sort of how we used to it with just video cameras. You know, I made a lot of shorts with Shane for Romeo Grassley, just be him and a camera. You know, and it was just that thing of like getting the taste for it again. And I'd done, you know, I'd come off of a film and had a really good time. You know, I did a big Hollywood film, and I really enjoyed doing it. There wasn't much of a role in it for me, but it was a bit really Cinderella Man. But it was a fantastic experience, brilliant, and I could sense in it that we needed to do something to get back in there, to you know, start pushing above our weight again. And Shane felt disillusioned with Midlands, and it was just a conversation. You know, it's like, let's go back to basics and make a film for nothing. I think we shot it in 3 weeks, and then a couple of days pick-ups a bit further down the line. But let's just go back to basics. It was just sort of getting out some of that hate Dead Man's Shoes was. I'd sort of the dad complex. I'd sort of, you know, some of that guy is my dad, and he was that guy 0 to 60, you know, like fucking. I mean, it's not pleasant, but you know, I've known him like knock somebody out because he didn't think they were very intelligent, you know, or something. You know, it'd like be in a pub trying to talk to somebody, you know, about something, and if he didn't think they were. You know, he has a certain fucking way of looking at human life. You know, I don't really like human beings, really. And, you know, before you know it, it'd be like, bang, the guy's fucking knocked out just because he couldn't have a conversation with him. And that's the sort of thing in there, you know, he plot stuff. He plot ways to kill people. But, you know, it was coming from a place of fear himself. You know, he was a fucking lunatic, but he wasn't not institutionalised or anything. He was just a raging... a fucking ball of rage, you know, my dad was. He was a funny guy.
Is that the guy in your short?
He's the guy in my short, yeah. So that sort of comes out of that. I was exploring that guy, you know. There's a story.
Is there a side of you in that?
No. Yeah, I've got a temper. I'm a bit, but I've done, you know, I love boxing, but if I saw somebody get knocked out cold, it would make me go, like, I don't like violence, which sounds like a massive contradiction. I'm more afraid of it, really. And the idea of it happening, but I also have these like ideas, like in my brain. And I don't know if it's just a genetic thing I inherited from my dad, but you know, situations in my brain can blow up from an incident with someone in the car to I got out of the car, smashed him with a crowbar, put his head under the fucking wheel, you know. And I think it must come from inferiority or fear. I think it comes from a fear of violence. I think that's where it comes from. But my dad was the kind of guy that would sort of, an incident would happen and he would let it go by, and then 6 months later he'd put his boots on, walk out the door and close the door, and you wouldn't know where he'd gone, and he'd gone down the road 6 months later and fucking leathered somebody. And they wouldn't know what it was for, but in his mind it was 6 months ago to make me feel a cunt, you know. And I thought that was like, I didn't enjoy that, you know. I didn't enjoy it at all, really. But that's sort of where I always say this film, and you know, it's not a fair thing, but I always felt that I brought Richard to the movie.
Yes.
You know, that element is the thing that I brought to the movie. Because Shane's amazing at, you know, the scenes that are harrowing in this, with Toby, you know, with the gang and stuff, and it's unbelievable. But again, it goes to these same things that Shane's deal with the peer pressure, the gangs, and you know, that kind of mentality and things that happen in the way of life, or you know, in the way of recreation, like.
Well, the violence is always ugly, and that's why I think always violence should be portrayed. You know,
well, it is ugly. It's horrible.
It's shocking for the audience
to watch.
We've got another clip. What have we got?
With Sonny.
Yeah.
Sonny, yeah.
the Anfield mark.
Hey, man, how you doing? Rich? You okay? Yeah? You're the lad of this ridiculous idea. Yeah, it was me. Oh, it was? Awesome. What are you up to? Mooching about. Mooching about? In my house? Oh. So I was painting men. Like women. What are you doing about? That's my concern. Not me in my house. Where are you staying? Robson's farm. You couldn't see me on here, maybe you're not. You're not afraid of me, are you? I just got shit. You make me very nervous, Richard. You should be. How are you? I get enough fucking go on, I get out of here, man. I gotta then do this and get ready, you got to come with me. I'm trying to fucking hit you all. I'm not being threat, Richard. I'm threatening you, mate. It's beyond fucking words. I watched over you when you were asleep. I looked at your fucking neck. It was that far away from slicing it. You're fucking there, mate. So get in that car and fuck off. You get to me first. Just wait. What's he doing? He's coming back. He's coming back. He's at him.
How deliberate is that to do both things? Do you feel that you have to do a big movie in order to get the kudos to go and make your short movies? Is that a conscious decision, or do you just take them as? Do you have a plan?
I ain't got it.
No.
The man. No, I don't. Honest to God, I like a lot of people like movies, you know, and when you get a call for something like Cinderella Man, you know, and it's not a great big old part in it, but you look who you're working with. The number one thing was I love Ron Howard. I just love him, you know, since I was a kid. And I think he's made some great movies, you know. And I don't know, sometimes you just get that call and you go, yeah, I'd like to do that. I want to work with those kind of people. And then, you know...
But can you apply, what's the difference of applying your skill and your acting technique on a movie like that? Or
they work totally differently to this. It's not, they create a world, they've got all the budget and everything to, you know, they built a street in Cinderella Man, you could buy fucking, you know, little pots of jam from the 1930s with all the right thing, and you probably don't even see it, you know. They create the world, but what you don't have in that movie is that you know, the scale is in a sense slightly bigger. You just don't get that time to create that history.
But is that dissatisfying for you?
Yeah, massively. And I think I come up short in them situations. Like I look at the Bourne Ultimatum, and you know, and then it's you torn between that thing of going, you know, Paul Greengrass rang me at home and says, "Oh, mate, I've got a part for you in a movie," and he described it, and I went, "Wow, that sounds amazing. I love the Bourne film. You want great?" But there's always that thing in the back of your mind, go, well, you know, let's be honest. Pretty much anybody could have played that role. It's not like some signature, like fucking role for me. It's just, it's the experience. You know, you do it to go.